Welcome back, fellas, to another day in the NBA. It is Monday, February 10th, and I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl. I understand it was a blowout for most of the game, so some people either really liked it, some people didn't. Some people didn't watch it at all, and if you're like me, who cares? We're on to the NBA. Finished the NFL season with a quick scope of 30.4 units in the positive. I went all over it on Twitter, so go check that out there if you want to see just a quick recap of our NFL season. But I thank you all for tuning into that NFL season. Again, we're only going to keep building on this. We're only going to keep moving in the NBA. But I did want to say thank you for those that have been following all the way since I started this channel earlier this NFL season. So appreciate that. And we're going to waste no time and hop straight into the NBA stuff for February 10th. Starting with the recap from February 8th. We went up 3 units that day, sweeping again. We're on a 12-0 run right now in the NBA, so we are killing it right now. Our February record is 25-3, up 13.5 units with a 43.45 ROI. So we're crushing it so far in February. Let's keep it up and keep building on these units in the NBA. I've been kind of having a very similar strategy throughout the past week or two with the NBA, and I kind of want to keep using that while lineups are moving, rotations are moving, and whatnot. But with the recap done and over with, moving on, today we have an NBA slate of, you see on your screen, a lot of red, a lot of yellow, and some green here and there. But we are going to be taking advantage of a few of these plays. One of the games is in the red, but I think it can be a close game either way. Right now we'll start with the Hawks, and we'll start with the top of the board. Hawks and Magic. I think this is going to be a pretty good game. 4.5 spread. Paolo's playing. Trae Young's playing. Should be a normal Orlando Hawks and Hawks game. Should be a back and forth game. Normally they split these. Orlando now is healthy, so I think I'm leaning with them in this game, and I'm going to take them at -4.5. Cavs versus Minnesota. I like Minnesota to cover here at the +8.5. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, as you'll see later on. The Spurs and the Wizards. Again, it's not just a watch for game. The Spurs are going to steamroll this Wizards team. The Spurs look good right now. Don't get off them too early. The Miami Heat with Andrew Wiggins making his first appearance against Boston. I still think Boston absolutely comes away with this. The offense for Miami is still in shambles, and we're going to have to see how that plays out. And the offense really gets going with usage and whatnot against the Celtics, which is a tough matchup to try that against. So we'll see about that. Hornets, my beloved Hornets, where literally every single starter is questionable right now. I'm not kidding. Every single starter is questionable. I'm leaning Brooklyn -3.5. I might take it more. We'll see if it goes. That's a game I'm not even coming close to touching with who the fuck knows is playing on the Hornets. I don't, so I don't know who does. By the time you're seeing this, probably tomorrow morning, maybe you'll get more of an idea, but as of right now, when I'm recording this at 2:08 in the morning, we have literally no idea. So, leading Brooklyn there. The Pelicans versus OKC, taking OKC all day long. Chet Holmgren is making his start back in the lineup off the injury report along with Lou Dort. This is going to be a fully healthy, again, Chet's going to be probably on a minutes restriction, but a generally fully healthy OKC team going against a Pelicans team that is just all over the place, and Zion's really just going to have to backpack it if they want to win at this point. But again, we'll see how that goes. Zion's a good shout if you want a pretty juicy line there, but again, there's a lot of blow-up potential there. So I'm personally staying away from it. Bucks and Golden State. Golden State -7. I would definitely lean that. Jimmy's look good. I'm going to be intrigued to see how the offense does in game 2 with Jimmy. But I think Jimmy can be a pretty good play here. Again, there's a lot of question marks for me with this trade deadline and usage percentages and where players are going to play. Obviously, they can have all great game 1s, sure, whatnot. But how does game 2, how does game 3 fare? I really don't like betting on players that we don't know how they truly fit yet. That's just my personal precedent. You can do whatever you want. That's not like me saying you have to do that. But I personally like getting a little more background info before I start hammering guys on new teams. The Kings and Mavs, right now, Dante Exum is questionable. PJ Washington is questionable. As of right now, I really like Sacramento to come away with this game as they're just the healthier team in general. There will be no Anthony Davis. As we know, Anthony Davis is now going to be out for multiple weeks, most likely 4 to 6 weeks with a groin strain. That's the typical time frame. But again, with Anthony Davis, it could be longer. This is why they traded him away. It's literally bar for bar what happened. It's kind of hilarious. Not really. I hope he gets better, but it is kind of insane to see. Moving on, I'm going to take the Trailblazers to cover plus 8.5 against Denver. The Trailblazers have just been looking like a really good team recently, and I want to stay with that mojo. And it's really hard for me to bet against them, especially with a Denver team where they're a little bit different when Russ isn't in the lineup. I feel like the offense with Russ is a lot different than without Russ. Without Russ, it's kind of almost too Jokic dependent right now. Now, again, Jamal Murray is probable in this game, so he'll probably play. But just leaning a little bit too Jokic focused. Now, Jokic does a great job versus DeAndre Ayton. He was going to be a play for me. I didn't quite pull the trigger, so if you want to take a Nikola Jokic line, I would not blame you. But, again, with how Portland's been playing recently, I feel like I just kind of have to take those points there with Portland. And on to the last game, Lakers at minus 12.5. Obviously, the Lakers with Luka Doncic, which everybody's going to be talking about. Mark Williams, though, back a Hornet. As a Hornets fan, I'm honestly not happy, but that's just insane. I kind of wanted the picks at this point. I was in the mindset, all right, we're going to rebuild, reload, and Mark's back. I mean, love Mark, so I guess we'll take him. But Lakers don't have a center. Jackson Hayes, I guess, going to be starting to roll. And I'm going to be so blunt here and give you my full opinion on like everyone betting every single person their mom wants in on Luka tonight. First off, Luka's questionable going into the game. But we're leaning towards he's playing. This is everyone's debut. Everyone thinks he's playing. Their primetime game. Everyone thinks he's playing. If he plays 20 minutes, I will not be surprised. If he plays 22 minutes, will not be surprised. If he plays 35 minutes, I will be shocked. This isn't a Jimmy coming over from the Heat. This isn't a AD coming over from the Mavs. This is a superstar who's been out for 2 fucking months with a calf strain going to play his first game in, again, 2 months. It's not like he was just not playing because he wanted to be traded. It's not like he was just traded and he was playing beforehand. Like, no. He hasn't seen the court for a long extended time. They're not going to rush him back, especially against the Jazz, to play a super high-minute role. So, again, a lot of his lines are low for a reason. I would lean the lowers on Luka. That's just me. That's just my thoughts. He could pop off. We don't know, but I'm going to lean unders. Anyway, I'm not taking any of them. We're going to hop straight into the plays. Starting with Paolo Banchero to go over 22.5 points. I really like this spot. Atlanta's defense stinks versus power forwards. Atlanta allows the second most points to opposing power forward as well as the 4th most points to power forwards in the past 7 games. Again, we're going to start getting these 7-game sample sizes, these 15-game sample sizes as we're getting further and further into the season and as the season kind of stretches out more because we can't just take these season-long stats and expect them to be entirely accurate. With that being said, Paolo's going over this line in back-to-back games versus Atlanta, one of them being a 30 bomb. Atlanta allows the 5th most three-pointers made to power forwards. When he wants to chuck, he does chuck. And they allow the 2nd most field goal attempts to power forwards. Again, I think he's going to see the volume. I think he has the clear matchup. Atlanta allows the 3rd most points to the pick-and-roll ball handler as well, where that's 20% of Paolo's points. Again, just a fantastic matchup in a game that should be close, as the spread indicates, and a game that's normally close between these two teams. So I'm going to definitely take Paolo Banchero there over 22.5 points. I feel like that's a pretty good read. He hasn't been hitting it for most of the season. There's a reason that line is high. I'm going to take it. That's something I was talking about earlier of like kind of taking a different approach. Over the past like few weeks when we've been cashing these bets, I've been taking plays that are not favored throughout the season, aka 50% or less hit rate over the course of the season. But there's a reason these guys' lines are high, and we're going to take advantage of them and hit them because they're such good matchups. I've been leaning matchups recently over anything else because we know who's going in where and whatnot. We don't know how many minutes people are playing right now. So as long as I know who's playing, I feel like I can get a pretty good idea on the matchup. Like, again, if I can know it's Daniel Gafford and not Anthony Davis, that gives me a little bit more of an edge. If I know it is going to be Donovan Mitchell versus whoever the hell, or if it's going to be Paolo Banchero, or are they facing a Franz Wagner, who are they playing matching up on defense? Where are they matching up on the court? Is Paolo now a 3 or is Paolo playing the 4? I don't think he would ever play the 3, but you get my point. Is Andrew Wiggins playing the 3? Is he playing the 2? Is he moved up down to the 4? Where is he playing at? When you get to know these sort of matchups and you can kind of take advantage of them, which are one of these plays we will be getting into next, we can kind of, I feel like, take advantage and grab some of these lines. Like how we did with Zion when he was playing the 3 last game, and we were like, hey, this is a great matchup for his 3s. Ended up going off. And I was like, oh, well, he doesn't play the 3 that much. Well, he was playing the 3 in that game because of their rotation being different. Same thing with Jaden McDaniels now. Jaden McDaniels to go over 6.5 rebounds. Feels like an absolute lockety lock. We're getting at minus 125 on ESPN Bet. I get a little bit of juice, but I'm going to take it because Nas Reed is playing the 4 right now, which means Jaden McDaniels gets bumped up to the 3. When Jaden McDaniels gets bumped up to the 3, he's hit this in 5 of 5 games. Without Julius Randle, he's hit this in 5 of 5 games. In those 5 games, he's averaging 14.2 rebound chances. So we're seeing not only the rebound chances, but we're seeing him hit over on the volume. And now he's going against Cleveland, who allows the most rebounds to opposing small forwards in the past 7 games. 11 of the last 15 small forwards have gone over on the rebounding lines versus Cleveland. J.D. has hit this in 8 of the last 10 games. He's hot. I love this play. He hasn't been hitting it for the majority of the season, but over the course of this short-term goal, he's been hitting it. He's in a great spot to hit it without Randle. The opportunities there. Again, he's moved to the 3, so we see how he looks against the 3. I just really like the matchup here against Cleveland now, especially now with them with their lineup again changing just a tad bit compared to the rest of the league, but they're adding in Max Strus now to play the 3, so it does change things comparatively to in the past. So Max Strus will be the 3 against Jaden McDaniels. I think he easily crushes that matchup and sees some easy rebound opportunities, which I really like. So again, that's just what I'm seeing. The over-under of this game is 228. I think it's going to be a close game. As I'm saying, it's going to be a close game. Donovan Mitchell is going to go over 23.5 points. Minnesota's been getting killed by shooting guards. Again, great matchup. They've allowed 7 of the last 7 shooting guards to go over their lines. Mitchell is averaging 30 points per game against Minnesota in his last 5 games against him, hitting this in 4 of those 5 games. Mitchell's gone over this in 7 of the last 10 games, averaging over 27.7 points per game. And Minnesota allows the 3rd most points to shooting guards in the past 7 games, as well as they allow the 12th most points to the pick-and-roll ball handler. 35% of Mitchell's points come from that area of basketball. So, again, really like Mitchell in this one. Should be a great matchup. Him versus Ant, I think, is going to be a very, very anticipated, fun to watch matchup that's going to get the crowd rocking. Again, 8.5. I like Minnesota to cover here. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I don't think there's going to be a blowout potential game. I think Minnesota's starting to figure it out by running through Ant. And I think Cleveland's going to continue doing what they're doing. I think Donovan Mitchell is a great matchup to go off today. With that being said, we're going to take Anthony Edwards to go over 31.5 points. I get he's questionable, but we're going to play it out. We're getting to minus 102 on FanDuel, so we're getting good value with it. Not only that, but Edwards without Randle, he's averaging 24.7 field goal attempts per game. That is the volume we're looking for, hitting this in 2 or 3 games with over 40 points in one of those games. Cleveland allows the most 3-pointers made to shooting guards over the last 7 games of this season, as well as they just allowed Jordan Poole to drop 45 on their dome piece, who again, shooting guard. Mitchell's great on offense, hasn't been great on defense this year. We're going to look to take advantage of that. Edwards has been an absolute stud. There really isn't anybody to guard Edwards right now on this Cleveland team that I would be really scared of. I think he's going to see a ton of volume. As long as he doesn't shoot like absolute dog shit, we should be good. Edwards crushed this line in 4 of the last 5 games, averaging 36 points per game. Not only that, but his usage has jumped in the past 10 games to 35% usage per game, which is absolutely nutty. If he's seeing that much volume, we have to be taking him here and taking this opportunity. Now, again, it seems high, 31.5 points. You're like, it's like SGA area. But when he's seeing the volume, you got to take a shot in a great matchup. I feel awesome about this play, and I'm going to play it every time. With that being said, that's all of our plays for today. We got Paolo Banchero, Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell, and Jaden McDaniels. Let me know who you guys are taking in the comments below and what your guys' thoughts are on the slate today and what you think Luke is going to do. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on what you think he's going to, how many minutes he's going to play, how well he's going to do, what his stat line might be. But for now, I'll catch you guys next time. If you like the channel, make sure to leave a like. And it's the easiest way to support the channel as well as subscribe. You know what to do down below. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.